Overall, it's a good enough movie that lays the groundwork for a potentially promising and great series of movies. Nothing could go wrong, right? Well, that was fast. Yep, just 2 years after the first Transformers movie came out, we got Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. And what a downfall in quality. Look, I get it. This movie went into production right as a writer's strike was happening. But if you don't have a writer to write your movie, then don't make the movie. If Wes Craven couldn't pull it off, then Michael Bay definitely can't.
Are we supposed to learn our lines when there's a new script every 15 minutes?
Even Michael Bay himself admitted this movie was horrible, but yet this movie still went into production. How's it going, gang? I'm Matt Henderson, and we're going to be talking about Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. This movie is where the middle school humor, sexual objectification, and racism that I had mentioned in my previous video really takes off. Alright, I'm going to speedrun this one, because if I don't, and I spend about an hour talking about this movie, I'm going to have a brain aneurysm.
Double time!
We open up with exposition that informs us that Transformers have actually been around for much longer than previously stated. We meet the sadistic Fallen who hates humans and wants to eradicate them. We then move on to more military stuff, but this time the Transformers are working with them to hunt down Decepticons in a new military group called Nest. We're introduced to some new Autobot characters, Sideswipe, Skids, and Mudflap, I'll get to them, and RC, and her twin sisters Chromia and Alita 1. Sweet, RC, she's one of my all-time favorite Transformers. I can't wait to see a whole lot of her in this movie. The Autobots take down the Decepticon, and the Decepticon leaves Optimus Prime a mysterious message.
This is not your planet to rule. The Fallen shall rise again.
And then Prime just kills the Decepticon that's laying there, unarmed and damaged.
Any last words?
Kind of aggressive for Prime, but that's okay. I'm sure that's as bad as it's gonna get. That's called comedy. I'm gonna bring it around at the end when Prime viciously murders the Fallen. We're reintroduced to Sam Witwicky and his unbearable parents.
March, young lady.
Oh,
I love it when you call me
Dad.
young lady, you dirty old man.
No, you ain't seen nothing yet.
We find out that Sam's going off to college and is going to be in a long-distance relationship with Michaela. We also get an excellent artistic shot of two dogs humping. As sad as this sounds, I'm pretty sure this is foreshadowing. We get a shot of Michaela working on a motorcycle, and I don't know, is this how you position yourself when you're painting a motorcycle? Sam finds a shard of the Allspark that got stuck on his hoodie in the first movie, and chaos ensues. And why does the Allspark only create Decepticons? Bumblebee saves the day and also destroys Sam's parents' house. We find out that Sam doesn't want Bumblebee to come to college with him for some reason.
Freshmen aren't allowed to have cars.
What? That isn't a rule. That can't possibly be a rule. Oh, also, Bumblebee can't talk again. Don't know why. They don't really explain it. I don't even know how he was able to talk in the first place. Hopefully they'll solve this by the end of the movie, right? We find out that Sam and Michaela haven't said I love you to each other yet. It's been 2 years, and they haven't said I love you to each other yet. What, don't want to feel like you're rushing into things? I don't know, sounds like a pretty healthy relationship to me. 2 years, I don't know why they okay, whatever. We're introduced to Soundwave, and why does he sound like that?
Decepticons, we have located the shard.
Soundwave hacks a satellite just in time for some more exposition. We find out that the government dropped Megatron's body in the middle of the ocean. That's it? Middle of the ocean? You're not gonna like melt him down or something? You're just gonna drop him there? Okay. We also find out that a lot of the government wants the Autobots to leave because there's too many Decepticons on Earth. Why would you send away your only viable option of protection from the Decepticons? That doesn't make sense to me, and this is not just like in this movie. This is something that carries over to the next one, and I don't understand. We go to Sam's college and meet Sam's new dorm mate, Leo. Leo runs an alien research organization because somehow the government managed to hide the entire war that happened in the middle of the city that I'm sure hundreds of people saw. We also get just another incredible scene of Sam's parents being unbearable.
Oh, and he recently had his cherry pop. He didn't know it was in the house. I heard it all.
Fuck this movie, man. Soundwave launches Ravage into the ocean next to a military base that contains the shard of the Allspark. Ravage launches some marbles into that military base, and the Decepticons get the shard. Sam goes to his first college party and starts seeing some crazy Cybertronian letters in his head. Sam dodges some of this lady's sexual advances, and she mounts him. Bumblebee crashes the party and takes Sam and also vomits on this aggressively sexual woman. Good on you, B. We find out that Optimus Prime wants Sam to try to convince the government to let the Autobots stay, and like, why the hell would the government listen to this college kid? Why did they let him keep Bumblebee? Sam tells Prime that he's not going to help them, which is reasonable. Why would the government listen to him? The Decepticons use the shard to bring back Megatron. Funny, it's like dropping his dead ass in the middle of the ocean wasn't a good idea. Megatron pieces out to space and abuses Starscream a little. We're introduced again to the Fallen. The Fallen somehow knows that Sam has information from the Allspark.
Only a Prime can defeat me.
But why? Like, say Megatron kills Prime. Wouldn't Megatron then technically be strong enough to kill the Fallen? I don't understand this. We're back in college with Sam in a class being taught by the overly sexual Professor Dwight Schrute.
Finish that for me.
Sam has a public freakout and starts seeing symbols a lot. Michaela finds Willie, the third most unbearable Transformer in this movie. We'll get to them. Michaela decides to go see Sam and manages to book a flight, get through airport security with a Transformer in her carry-on, take off, land, and get to Sam's dorm within about an hour. This lady shows up again and sexually assaults Sam. Michaela shows up and finds Sam being sexually assaulted. Alright, editor's note. Admittedly, this doesn't look like sexual assault at this point, but everything leading up to this scene was Sam rejecting this woman, so I don't really know what they were going for here. I'm just gonna leave it up to not having a script. Michaela leaves, and then the Horny attacks Sam. The Horny chases after Sam, Michaela, and Leo.
Listen, I'm a victim.
Oh, you were a victim of what?
Sexual assault. The Horny finds the group and shoots through the library. The group steals a car.
Oh my god, you're not a hotwire car?
So hot.
Just great writing done here, really. Incredible work. Michaela runs over the Horny. A Decepticon lifts the car off of the ground and drops the group at least 6 stories. There's no way they would have survived this. Maybe I'm just nitpicking, it's just something I thought about while watching it. Sam is confronted by Megatron and Sam's back should definitely be broken. Megatron puts a robot in Sam's nose to get information out of him. But then, the Autobots come in and save the day. We get another pretty well done action scene in the forest. And then suddenly, Optimus Prime dies. And there you go. That's Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Thanks for watching. Oh. It's not over. Somehow the Fallen can feel when a Prime dies. Gross. Megatron abuses an unarmed Starscream. Starscream should really stand up for himself. I don't know, maybe kill and overthrow Megatron. Maybe that's out of the ordinary. That's probably not in his character or anything.
Total victory is within my grasp.
Not yours, Megatron. Mine.
More Decepticons land on Earth. The military just drops Prime's dead ass. What kind of disrespect? The Fallen broadcasts himself around the world and tells the general public to turn in Sam Witwicky, and then they'll spare Earth. The group is in hiding, now joined with Bumblebee and...
That's Cybertronian.
Oh god. Okay. I guess I'll talk about them now. Skids and Mudflap are the two most unbearable characters in this movie. Potentially the worst characters in the entire franchise. Their entire personality is just a very offensive racial stereotype. They're not funny, it's just bad. If you know anything about this movie, you probably know about them. They're offensive, they're annoying, they're horrible to look at, and they're just aggravating to have around. Alright, there, I addressed them. Can we move on now?
Well, we don't really do much reading.
I guess not. Who the hell greenlit this? What exec was like, this is what the people want, this is the Transformers that people want? I can't believe this happened. I can't believe this happened. The group needs to find out what the Cybertronian text that Sam is seeing says, and since Bumblebee can't talk and Skids and Mudflap can't fucking read, they need to find someone who can translate for them. And this brings us to John Turturro. What the hell are you doing here, man? Simmons takes the group to an airplane museum where they think there's an old Transformer that can help translate for them. And this scene...
Bad news, bro. Ran out of toilet paper. You got any out here? How many times can you get tased in the nuts before you can't have kids?
How did this movie happen? How did this movie happen? It's here that we meet Jetfire. Jetfire and Willie both decide to become Autobots and...
Name's Willie. Yeah. Say my name. Say my name.
Fuck this movie, man. We get a bunch of exposition, and then Jetfire teleports the group to Egypt, which is where the Matrix of Leadership is. Jetfire gives us more exposition about the Fallen. We find out that the Fallen wants the Matrix of Leadership to power a machine that will wipe out the human race.
So, the same energy that's going to be used to reactivate the machine. Could that energy somehow be used to reactivate Optimus and bring him back to life?
Well, if it's convenient to the plot, I bet it can. I'm gonna start powering through the rest of this movie because this is where shit starts to really hit the fan, and I just can't do it anymore.
Double time.
The group finds the Matrix, which turns to sand, and Sam keeps it in a sock. Ness gets to Sam, but so does Starscream. Leo has a mental breakdown, which is reasonable. Still doesn't make me like his character. Megatron and Starscream land on one of the pyramids, and Megatron tells the Decepticons to attack. A bunch of Decepticons combine into Devastator, even though Devastator was in the previous movie as a completely different character. That's okay, though. Nothing matters. We get a pretty decent one-shot here. Sure, it's mostly CGI, but it's something actually creative happening in this movie, so that's nice. Movie still sucks, though. On the topic of sucking, Devastator begins to suck. The red one gets sucked. The red one gets sucked. Sweet. He's dead. Oh, no. No, don't do this. No, he's dead. Come on, man. What, just too good of a character to kill off, even though we don't see either of them in the following movies? At least I hope we don't. Earlier in the film, Sam's parents were kidnapped. We find out now that it's actually a trap to capture Sam. Bumblebee jumps out and beats the hell out of Rampage. Sam's dad begs Sam to leave with them, and this scene would almost be emotional if I cared at all about any of these characters or this movie. RC swoops in to try to help Sam and Michaela get away. Oh yeah, I forgot RC was in this movie. Good to see you, RC. Oh. Simmons climbs up one of the pyramids to tell the Navy where Devastator is, and...
I am directly below! The enemy screwed him!
Nope. Nope, I'm done. I'm done. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I can't do... How did this happen?
Matt.
No, I'm done. You gotta draw a line in the sand, dude. No, I'm done. Did you just slap me?
Buddy, you're gonna get evicted if you can't get this out on time.
I don't even get paid to make these. Stop hitting me!
Then get serious. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Devastator dies. Sam runs to try to put some pocket sand in Optimus Prime's chest. Megatron shoots Sam and Sam dies.
Listen to my voice. I love you.
Whoa, slow down there. You've only been dating for 2 years. You don't want to rush into anything and overcomplicate things. Sam has a Harry Potter moment where he meets the 13 Primes. The Matrix of Leadership reforms and Sam throws it into Prime's chest. Prime comes back to life. Jetfire dies and gives his body parts to Optimus Prime. Prime flies up to the Fallen and thus the final battle begins. And Prime says one of his most iconic lines.
Give me your faith.
Wait. No, that's not it. Prime. Jesus! The hell? What the hell was that, dude? Megatron and Starscream flee. Prime drops all of Jetfire's donated body parts. Prime monologues, and then the movie just kinda ends. Well, there you go. 2 down, 4 to go. Final thoughts. What the hell happened? The first movie wasn't incredible by any means, but this is horrible. The story is both everywhere and nowhere at the same time. The characters are 1,000 times more unbearable, both the human characters and these abominations. God, I just want a Transformers movie based on Cybertron. Why can't we get that? They also ramped up the racism and sexual objectification by 1,000. This movie is baffling. Also, Prime is just terrifying by the end of this movie. What the hell was that, man? The jokes, the dialogue, it's all cringy and uncomfortable to just sit through. The action is nearly impossible to follow. Half of the story doesn't make sense. Somebody needs to stop this man. At least that's the peak. Can't get any worse than this, right? Right? Well, tune in the next couple of weeks when I review Transformers Dark of the Moon. Did you guys see this movie? Did you like it? If you did, why? If you like this video and you want to see more videos like it, hit that like button, subscribe if you feel like it. I'm Matt Henderson. Thank you. I broke my TV for the shot. This entire movie was really just a devastating blow, so please subscribe.